About 5 hours later, the mist suddenly cleared. Aldwin appeared at the top of the hill carrying Mirth in his arms. Mirth was sleeping while she had two little bundles in her arm. Let me guess, it's twins and one is a boy and one is a girl. Let's see if I'm right. Parthenax looked at the babies in awe, then chuckled. Hey, I guess I'm an uncle now. Ew, he said and bumped his proud brother's shoulder. Alda nodded and kissed Mirth's sleeping head gently. She did such a wonderful job. I wish her other mate had been here to see this through. Yep, this is definitely someone's weird ass fantasy. The two babies were wrapped in Mirth's wool blanket that Aldwin had made for her a while back, only it was ripped into two smaller blankets for the babies to be swaddled in. Where did they put this blanket? I don't want to know. The firstborn baby was a boy. Ha, called it. He had dark brown hair and pale skin like his mother. The second born was a girl. She had pitch black hair and was also pale skinned. I would say that technically, apparently, according to Skyrim biology, the kid in a mixed race couple always takes after the mother. But I don't know how true that is. Odahviing grinned at his niece and nephew. Wait, are Odahviing and Alduin related?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. He asked curiously. Alduin shook his head. Didn't have time. Mirth passed out from exhaustion before I could ask her. Yeah, that sounds about right. Labor sucks. He said and chuckled. Alduin then hummed and thought, we can't stay in Sovngarde forever. No brainer right there. He mumbled, then turned to Dronevere and Overding. Do either of you know somewhere hidden where Mirth could regain her strength?
Is there any way we can borrow 1,400 from your parents?
Dronevere and Odahviing looked at each other, then nodded. We know a place, they both said at once. When Mirth came to, she heard a familiar, thick accent. She felt that she was on a bed, then opened her eyes, finally recognizing the voice. Brynjolf, I told y'all she was gonna be in the fucking Thieves Guild. I called it! It's like, I don't think realistically the Dragonborn could be the leader of like every fucking faction ever. But said person turned to her in sighed in relief. Good to see you finally awake, lass. That means your boyfriend can get some well-deserved rest, he said and chuckled. Mirth looked at her side to see Alduin sit by her bed holding the babies. Holding one baby is hard enough, but especially if you have a wiggle worm like my youngest. That kid does not know how to stay still. He had circles under his eyes and chuckled at her newly formed pout. You've been out cold for 2 days. I was worried. This is the EMT in me speaking, but if someone's unconscious for more than a couple minutes, that means they have brain damage. But honestly, I don't think it would do anything considering this bitch doesn't use her brain. He explained, then yawned. Mirth tried to get out of bed, but then noticed she was nude. Oh, lovely. She pulled her blanket inside. Vilkas, is he? She whispered. Alden rubbed her shoulder and shook his head. He's still alive, but he's being held captive somewhere by the blade, he explained. Damn, no one gives a shit about this. He's their Kenny. Mirth nodded, then frowned deeply. We need to rescue him. I've given birth, so fighting won't put the babies in danger. Yeah, but if you die, who the fuck is gonna feed your babies? As far as I know, Skyrim formula is not a thing. And you probably don't want a wet nurse for this situation. If you can find one. She then noticed Alden's frown. You can't fight yet. You have to wait till your full energy comes back. It should only about be a week. You need to rest until then. Well, unless somehow she heals faster from giving birth than a regular woman, it's gonna take a while. Mirth sighed in defeat and nodded, laying back down. Brynjolf turned to Mirth and smiled a bit. You should hold your babes for a while last year. Buddy here needs some sleep, as do the rest of us. The guild was worried about ya last. We stayed up with bated breath waiting for you to wake up, he explained. I low-key feel like the Thieves Guild don't really give a shit about each other. It's just like we tolerate each other for the sake of work. Like the coworkers you don't really fucking like, but you gotta work with them anyway because that's how the things are. Uh, Mirth nodded and gently took her babies into her arms from Alden. Branioff looked at the three Dova, unknown to him, with a curious expression. Who are these guys anyway? He asked. Mirth chuckled a bit. Go to sleep, Bran. She teased with his nickname. I'll tell you everything in the morning. Branioff nodded, then went to his bed and fell asleep. Alden climbed into bed next to Mirth and kissed her gently. I'm going to sleep now. If you need me, please wake me, he said, and almost immediately, what? Passed out? Mirth chuckled at and kissed him. Of course. I bet the kids' names are gonna be cringe too. So much cringe, y'all. So much cringe. Oh boy. I already hate this and I just skimmed through it. The ground shook and bubbled as a strange circular marking was made on the in blood outside of the Skyhaven temple. Alright, who's trying to bring Mehrunes Dagon back? The symbol glowed and spouted tentacles out of it, causing the hired necromancers to flee, screaming. Some of them were caught by the tentacles, their heads being popped off the top of their bodies. Ugh. Soon, a naked figure emerged from the symbol. Why is he naked? He had a dark brown hair, slightly pale skin, and eyes with blackened edges. It's Marak, isn't it? This can't get any more stupid. You know what? Let me shut the fuck up because it probably will. Near the door to Skyhaven Temple stood Delphine and a very pissed off Esbern. Why are all the dudes simps? Like, you know you could just, like, leave. Anyway. He didn't want Delphine to do this, but she ordered it, so it had to be listened to. Says who? Like, literally, it's just two of you and a bunch of goons, like. The tentacles disappeared as the man stood. He looked at his hands briefly and clenched them into fists, fire magic glowing around them. It's called charging a spell, you dimwit. Who are you to have summoned me from my grave? A thick Nord accent said. You mean the man? You know what? No. No, that's not the worst thing wrong with this. Delphine walked forward and kneeled to the man. Why would you do that? I am Delphine of the Blades, where I needed your services, Dragonborn Marak, she said softly. You know, you'd think in all the books that she allegedly stole from the College of Winterhold about Marak, it would have said that he basically told the Nord heroes to go fuck themselves when they asked him for help to rebel against the dragons. But no. The man known as Marak chuckled at that. So you ripped my very soul out of my cold presence. I can assist you in some trivial nonsense. I do suppose I owe you something for bringing me back to life, he responded to her. I don't think that'd be in character for him. He betrayed the dragons and then got his ass kicked by Balok, and instead of, just taking the L and dying, he had to go rush to Hermaeus Mora to, save his ass because he knew no one else would. You may stand. Delphine stood up and smiled at him. We believe you are meant to bring more Dragonborns into this world. This is why we have revived you. That is not how being Dragonborn works. You know what? I'm done for the night, because if I had to read any more of this shit, I'm gonna go insane.